Shrapnel.
Heidi-ho everyone, welcome to Film Shrapnel. Once again, just Tobias here, no Craig today. My background with John Wick, I love John Wick. I really loved the first film. After watching the fourth film, I came home, I watched the original. I'm a big fan of the first one, a big fan of the second one. The third one I felt was tailing off. However, incredible action set pieces and still really compelling stuff to enjoy within the third one. The fourth John Wick, this is without a doubt the final chapter, because this franchise, for me anyway, it's lost its legs. It's not sustainable for what it is. It's a really good idea, the first film. Let's not forget, the first film's a really solid concept for an action film. You know, guy's wife dies, and her last act in death was to get him a dog, provides him with hope, and then someone comes, and he's an ex-assassin, someone comes in, kills his dog, steals his car, and it's like breaking point. Like, I'm back, I'm going to fucking kill everyone. So it's a fun concept. It's a fun concept, right? However, it's not something that should have spawned an entire franchise of movies, you know. Now, John Wick 2, I think, I was surprised that they made a second one. But when you watch the second John Wick, they really do make an active effort. It's like, okay, it's just that the fact that he did the first film is bringing him out of retirement. Now people want him to, like, this guy wants it. Like, John Wick 2 isn't a bad sequel at all. Like, if you look at Taken, which is a similar franchise, similar concept to begin with. Someone takes his daughter, he's got to go get him back. He's badass that's now retired, and he's got to go get his daughter back. And I think we can all agree that besides the first Taken, the rest of the franchise is pretty dog shit, besides a couple of good action set pieces. Now, that's what I feel about John Wick 4 is... And the thing is, it's not even that bad. If I'm perfectly honest, it's not bad. I'd say it's way better than the third one. And like, I could give you a laundry list of things to like about this movie. This movie has so much going for it, but there's something not working for me. And I mean, let's break it down a little bit. The cast are great. Fucking Lawrence Fishburne is great. Donnie Yen is in this one. He's fucking great. He plays a blind assassin. He's genuinely brilliant. You've got, I forget which Skarsgård it is. It might be Bill, but the Pennywise actor, he's fucking great in this. Like, genuinely feels like a legitimate threat, even though he's not like physical in his intimidation, but like it's very, you know, I mean, I suppose his physical performance makes him intimidating, but it's not that he is capable to, you know, it's not like he's another John Wick. You know, he's someone that's been brought in by the high table, who's been under the table for a long time, and they're sort of letting him off the leash. They know he's a bit of a liability, but they know they need to deal with John Wick. So they let Bill Skarsgård deal with it. And he's sort of like rewriting the rules as he goes, essentially, and like throwing more money than God at the situation. He's great in this movie. The concierge, he's always good. I hear he actually died in real life recently, which is quite sad. And also Ian McShane's back. He's bloody brilliant. Unfortunately, as much as I love Keanu, and as much as we all love Keanu, and he's actually pretty good in the first couple of John Wicks, this one, he really comes across as maybe a little bit tired. There's a couple of sequences where he just doesn't look like he's anywhere close to the capabilities of everyone else, and he's beating the shit out of them like there's a couple of times it just feels like he can't move as fast as he used to. I don't know. Keanu's feeling a little bit too old now for this. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's still putting in everything he's got. But like when you watch the original, I watched the first John Wick right after, and it really is like, it's not night and day or anything. Like, it's not two complete polar opposites of each other. He does a damn good job in John Wick 4. It's just, I just think he's showing a bit of his age a little bit. He's just a little bit slower, ambles a little bit more. But I still love him. He's great. He's so compelling. He's such a charismatic and charming actor that I can't help but enjoy it when he's on the telly. But I'll say, and also the direction. The direction, it's a very, very nicely woven film. The cinematography is on point. Like, the cinematography is stunning. Some of the shots are visually beautiful. And of course, the action. I'd say the action in this one is probably the best John Wick action that we've had. Now, my big problem with this film, it's like nearly 3 hours. It's like 2.5 hours long. It's like a solid hour and a bit longer than the original John Wick. And the story is still just as bare bones. So what's filling out the runtime is the action. The action fills out the runtime. Now, I really like all the action, but it does come to a point where it's like, oh, is this movie still on? I felt that it was dragging. And that's really difficult to achieve in an action film, to make it feel slow. But this one felt a little bit slow for me. It took a long time to get anywhere. There are a few set pieces that just didn't feel like they were necessary. For example, there's a whole sequence where he has to go to Berlin, and he needs to be entered into a family so he can do something with the high table. I won't spoil anything, but this Berlin scene, he goes to these people. They say, well, you need to deal with this one guy for us, and then we'll do this for you. And like, it takes like a good 40 minutes, this whole sequence. 40 minutes, because it includes an amazing action set piece. Like, really, honestly, all the action's great. It's just too long sometimes. It comes to a point where it's like, yeah, this is running a bit long. But it's still good shit. It's still really good shit. It's just, yeah, like I say, it just runs a bit too long. But there are excellent action set pieces in this. And yeah, like there's a lot to love. There's a lot to love besides the runtime. There's a lot to love about this film. And I think we get a satisfying conclusion to the story. And, that the final set piece, nothing that I didn't expect. Nothing took me by surprise. However, it was still really satisfying. The biggest problem that this film has is that it's a John Wick film. Unfortunately, as much as we all love John Wick, I love John Wick, but the fact that it's a John Wick film actually prevents it from being a better film, because the direction really is excellent. The set pieces are beautiful. The cinematography is stunning. The action is so brilliantly put together, and a lot of the performances are really good. Ultimately, it really just comes down to, I think the concept itself is just tired. It's on its last legs. I think it was that way before, like John Wick 3, I think it was sort of running out of steam then. So, yeah, I think the major problem with John Wick 4 is that it's John Wick 4. Everything else around it, excellent. I actually can't fault a lot of it. It's just, it deserves to be in a better film. And obviously this is a franchise. The first one was like pretty fresh. Everyone loved it. Second one, just a continuation of this fresh story that we all like. These last two, it's just beating a fucking, it's unnecessary. It's unnecessary. I don't think people who love the first two really need John Wick 3 and 4. I still will watch them. I think it's the same with these superhero films. It's like, when they start getting bad, you still watch them. And again, I'm not saying John Wick 4 is bad. Far from it. It's surprisingly good. It's just because it's a John Wick film, I just think that really brings it down a couple of notches. I really feel that the fact that it's a film within a franchise that's on its last legs, it really does feel like all the work going into it that's really good, really solid stuff, it's just sort of wasted on a John Wick film where you could put it in, a different movie and create something brand new and fresh. And if you have all this stuff in it, it will be popular for sure. Like, people will like it. So maybe this is more a comment on franchising stories that don't need to be franchised, or maybe that's not what I've set out to do. It's just, as far as the movie goes, it's well worth a watch, but it will surprise you how much it drags for a movie that is just wall-to-wall action. But the spectacle of John Wick is, like, you really get your money's worth in John Wick 4, so much so that, at least in my humble opinion, you're getting too much for your money, where it's like, well, you could have saved some of this for like a sequel or a different movie. But look, I am really excited to see what the creative team behind John Wick, I'm really excited to see what they get up to next, because, as I say, they haven't slowed down with John Wick 4. John Wick 4 is still wall-to-wall brilliant, like, great effort put in. Or honestly, everyone puts in a great effort. But yeah, I still feel that it's, I think the fact that it's a John Wick film lowers the quality of the film. I think the quality of the film deserves to be in a better film or a better franchise, as much as I love John Wick, and I really do. All right, that's 15 minutes up. I'm going to get off, guys. But I hope that was interesting for you. If you guys have watched John Wick 4, let us know in the comments below. Also, follow us on Twitter at Film Shrapnel, capital F, capital S. Much love and keep it knees.
Film Shrapnel.